This video is going to reveal the hobbies that women find most attractive and least attractive according to science. This study comes to us directly from DatePsych, who's my favorite researcher nowadays when it comes to this sort of thing. And they surveyed over 800 women and they asked them to rate a bunch of hobbies as either attractive or unattractive. And they culminated everything to give us this very valuable data. So what are the most attractive male hobbies to women? So number one on the list is reading, at 98% of women finding it attractive. So how would you demonstrate that? Well, you wouldn't just want to say in your bio, I like to read, because that would make you seem dumber. But if you have a photo of you reading a book with some cool background, that's going to work pretty well, which is why I like having those photos, and a lot of customers I worked with actually get those types of photos. And those work really well. Number two is foreign languages. I've been taking advantage of this for a while without even realizing it. But in my bio, it says something like, my passion is traveling around the world, seductively whispering Russian in your ear, right? But I'm showing off that I have a second language, right? So again, I guess a lot of women find that attractive, which is why I find that type of prompt in your bio works really, really well. Number three is playing an instrument. So like photos of you playing guitar can work really well, or whatever instrument you play. Cooking is high on the list, and I think photos of you cooking are great, right? I know a lot of friends who use those. Woodworking, I've never tried, but apparently it's high on the list. It's manly, I guess, because you're working with wood, whatever. Painting, writing, gardening, swimming. Then we have photography, which, something that, again, I've always talked about is getting a photo of you taking a photo. It looks good. Then you have astronomy, hiking, archery, blacksmithing, and traveling, right? So traveling scored 87% women finding it attractive, but that's still definitely inferior to something like reading, which was number one. Now, look, you can take these at face value or not. You can say like, oh, I think women are virtue signaling when they say reading, right? But again, I think that the majority of this is going to be accurate. Like, these are the hobbies that women generally find most attractive, but you don't want to just say that in your bio. You kind of want to show rather than tell. Now, what are the hobbies that women find least attractive? Let's take a look at this. Number one is comic books, with 33% saying it's not attractive. Then we get to cosplay, debating, sorry Destiny, drinking, MTG, God only knows what that is, anime, makeup, crypto. Yes, that's a common one. I think a lot of guys like to talk about their crypto. A lot of guys mention crypto. Don't fucking talk about crypto, because a lot of women find it very unattractive. Cigars, that's also another good one. A lot of guys have photos of them smoking a cigar, right? Don't have that. A lot of women don't find it attractive. In fact, 22% of women think that it's attractive, so 80% think it's unattractive. Clubbing, I've always talked about that. I don't think those photos are effective. Marijuana, I don't think too many people have photos of them smoking weed. Porn, I don't think too many guys have photos of them jerking off. But gambling, it's up there on that list, so don't have any photos of you gambling. I think a lot of guys have photos of them playing poker, and clearly most women don't find that attractive. In fact, over 90%. And manosphere is the least attractive hobby, manosphere. So I don't know how that would work out. Like, are guys saying like, yeah, by the way, like my hobby includes manosphere, just watching Fresh and Fit videos and yelling at women, I guess. But yeah, this kind of goes to a point I made in other videos, which is the manosphere gets a really bad rep. And honestly, there's probably pretty good reason for that. And here we're going to take a look at breaking down by athletic hobbies, because I think this is very, very interesting. So the hobbies that women find most attractive is swimming. Then we have hiking, canoeing, rock climbing, right? And then if we look at the bottom of the list, we have bodybuilding, boxing, golf, yoga, skateboarding. So I think a common photo I see a lot of guys have is boxing MMA photos. And this shows you that you don't want that, right? Like, half the women don't find that attractive. Golf photos are definitely hard no. It seems the majority of women don't find that attractive, right? So I would, just not use those photos. You want to stay near the top of the list. I think rock climbing photos are always good. But just photos that are like active and not like cliche. I think the reason that boxing MMA is so low on this list, as well as golf, they're two bottom on the list, is because those are the hobbies that guys are most often showing. Like, most guys, when they're showing their athletic hobbies, it's going to be golf or boxing, right? And women are just like, ugh, God, another one. All right, now let's take a look at basically male martial arts hobbies. I want to break this down a little bit more. So in terms of like martial arts hobbies, I don't even know why archery is on this list, but it's on the top. And again, the very bottom of this list is boxing, MMA. So you're really better off showing like yourself shooting a gun, but not by a significant margin. But if you show yourself like riding a bike or doing archery or even fucking fencing, I don't even know if anyone does that, you're better off than showing a photo of you doing boxing or MMA. Now here's the interesting, this is where there's the largest disparity in perceived hobby attractiveness between men and women. So red is going to be the women, blues or dark blue is going to be the men. So building models, I guess women find a lot more attractive than most men think. Stamps, I guess women find more attractive. Politics, I guess a lot more women find attractive. But if we look at motorcycles, it seems that like men think that motorcycles are much more attractive than women do. I still think that it's good to have a motorcycle photo, but this is does kind of, you know, add some data to my perception. I think we have another big one with beekeeping. Like, how do you even have a photo? It's just a photo of you, like, with a beekeeping outfit and a bunch of bees just, like, biting you. Like, I don't know how the fuck that works. Bird watching. It's, like, a photo of you, like, creeping on some, like, big-ass parrot. Comic books, I guess, but that was still relatively low on the list. This is just more, like, for lulz than anything. But, yeah, here we can see where the largest discrepancy is. And then I decided to go one step further and ask pretty much every dating coach that I talk to regularly what hobbies they think that, you know, are most attractive. And we got some interesting answers. So let's see how some of these common dating coaches that you see on my channel line up with what the study says. Let's take a look. So here I asked Austin Summers. He said rock climbing, nature stuff, musical instruments, sports, dog training, traveling. Yeah, he kind of nailed that. Like, this is pretty accurate according to the study. Least attractive hobbies, probably anime, video games, taxidermy, making disc videos on YouTube. Okay, he's trolling with that one. Taxidermy, I guess that wasn't on the list, but I can't imagine girls find that too attractive. But yeah, anime is going to be a turn off. Video games is going to be a turn off. But yeah, he's pretty good. Then we asked Michael Sartain. So he says, I work in animal rescue and I think it may top all other hobbies. I think he's probably right about that one. That one wasn't mentioned in the survey, but that's simply because the surveyor didn't put that on the list. But I do think a photo of you working in animal rescue or talking about that will be very attractive. I can literally get the hottest girls I know to show up to events. I also worked at a food pantry weekly. Insanely hot women came out every week to volunteer with me. I think that probably the animal rescue will do a lot better than the food pantry, but who knows? I've never done this. And here he talks a photo of him from animal rescue. Holy shit. Are these like fucking animal rescue porn stars? Like, they rescue a dog and then they just like make a porno? Like, this just looks straight out of like a fucking porno set, but interesting. Okay. And then we asked Marcus Wolf. He says, from a woman's perspective on paper, I'm thinking things that hit general attraction triggers and then things they personally find interesting. Something artistic, musical, like playing guitar. He's correct. Something masculine, like MMA. He's incorrect about that one. Humanitarian. He's correct about that. Caring, dog walking. That wasn't on the list, but again, that's because the survey didn't put that on the list. I think dogs are the best thing that you could do for your Tinder profile. Having a photo of you playing with a dog, or, you know, not as best, but still really good, you walking a dog is really good. Just girls love dogs. I know it may seem like it's played out, but it's not. If the girl is spiritual, then meditation or yoga, that's true. If she's, spiritual. However, if you're thinking hobbies guys should do to develop attractiveness traits, then things like MMA and public speaking or acting classes, I think, are great. So this is a little bit different. MMA, I don't think will really, it seems like it's going to get you anywhere. I personally never done MMA. When I was a kid, I did some karate, but I quit by the time I was 13, and I would consider myself pretty good. So yeah, I don't think that's necessary. Public speaking, of course. Acting classes, I've never tried, so I can't comment on. Okay, here we asked Justin Mark. So he said sports such as basketball, football, entrepreneurship events, car enthusiasts. So yeah, he was incorrect about that one, to be fair. It seems like basketball wasn't anywhere on the list. Entrepreneurship events, I don't think the vast majority of women care about. Car enthusiasts, 95% of women don't give a shit about that. So yeah, he was incorrect on this one. Here we asked Chrissy, you know, that hot female photographer that comes on my channel for speed dates. She said cooking, gym, and for me would be reading because I like smart guys, which perfectly correlates to what we saw on the list, which is reading, cooking, gym. Gym was not on the list. They just simply didn't ask that, but I would imagine it's up there. Not the most attractive hobby, but it's up there. And just for lulz, we asked Wheat Waffles. He said aggressive sports such as rugby, MMA, NFL, traveling is up there too. Okay, so he's only correct about the traveling part. The aggressive sports part is not supported by the study. None of these make a difference if you're a sub 5 though. I guess he couldn't resist. Hobbies are less than 5% of whether women will find you attractive. That part, I do agree. I don't think it's super important. I think it's probably more than 5%. And of course, he had to say Henry Cavill and Base Hunter, both Giga Chads in their prime, are legit video game addicts. Doesn't stop women thirsting over them. I guess if you're Henry Cavill, then you don't need to, I guess, have attractive hobbies. But there we go, that's the list. And if you want my opinion, I agree with a lot with Michael Sartain. Austin said, I think adventure photos, like you traveling and basically, you know, either like rock climbing or on a canoe or doing some shit like that, that's not like the typical douchey, like fucking, look at me, I can box photo, is great. I think anything involving dogs, I'm a triple, quadruple down on that. Animal rescue, or just a photo of you playing with your super cute Siberian Husky is awesome. And if you don't have a dog, just fucking park and go to the dog park, find someone who has a dog and take a photo with that dog. Dog owners are pretty nice as long as you're not being a weirdo and you're not like a dog pedo. And anyway, I would say that also the hobbies that you want to avoid that guys commonly do is like anything NFT related is just a turn off. Entrepreneurship just makes you seem like a scammer nowadays. I would avoid photos of boxing, I would avoid photos of clubbing, and of course there were some obvious ones that we saw discussed, but yeah, if you're gonna dress up like anime or just do anything like really weird like that, or do any of the least attractive hobbies, then you're probably gonna be at a big disadvantage. But also a lot of it comes down to is how you show the hobby. Just talking about like, here are my hobbies and just give a big list, it's not gonna do anything. You wanna kind of show that in your photos, at least to partially. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, we're doing a big Black Friday sale. Link for that's gonna be in the description, so definitely check that out before it ends. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.